Welcome back to another rebuild. We are going to Spain and we're going to go over to a struggling team at the moment who are lying in the wrong half or the wrong side of the La Liga. Sevilla are near the bottom. I think they were, last time I looked, third from bottom. So yeah, really struggling this season. So let's go and give them a little bit of a makeover and see if we can improve their position. Not much of a transfer budget though, it has to be said, but the wages are quite high. The last won the Spanish First Division in 1946. So let's see if we can wrestle it away from Real Madrid and Barcelona first off, and then we'll see what we can do after that though. The Europa League, they've won that in 2020, although they have had quite a lot of success in the 2000s, winning 6, I think it is. The Super Cup, they've won that once. They've won the Spanish Cup, last time being in 2010, and the Spanish Super Cup in 2007. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here, I feel. This is the team report of their best 11 with Nesri up front, Tito, Lamela, Delaney, Fernando, Acuna, Navas, Martal, Rekic, Nianzou and Bono in goal. Okay, and they've got a couple of loan obligations as well, with Alex Telles in the forefront with Dolberg as well. Interesting. So as always, we'll have a look at where they're predicted to finish. That's not where they are at currently in real life, but they are predicted to finish 4th, 33-1 to win the league behind Atletico, Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's always good to have a look at the sort of squad we are playing with, and they do seem to have quite a big squad, which is good news. And so go by player ability and having a look at some of the aging players. There are a lot of players in their 30s as well by looks of things. The two players I have on loan, Dolberg and Telles. Dolberg only 24 years old, so hopefully we might be able to use him as the main striker, possibly, depending on who's around at the minute. But at the moment, they've got Nesri up front, which seems to be a pretty good player at the moment. Him and Dolberg can fight out, maybe have 2 up front. They've got Mir, Jordan, Corona, Thomas Delaney, who's now 30. He's got another 3 seasons left on his contract. Interesting. Acuna as well, another 30-year-old. 28-year-old Campos, who's out on loan, which I'm surprised he is at loan. So we're going to have to try and get him back. Probably next season he will be back. But he has got a contract to 24. Beno, Navas, Rakitic, Fernando. Yeah, so 3 players there, 34 years old. I mean, at this point, do we cash in £15 million you probably get for the 3 of them? I mean, it's not an awful lot, is it? Isco, 30-year-old Dutrovic, Nemanja Gudij, 30 years old as well. Nianzou, only 20. Superb. So we will be building around him at the back, I feel. How long has he got left on his contract? 27, 5 years. Excellent stuff. You got Marchal as well. Januzaj. Wow, I forgot they had him. Lamela as well on that left-hand side. So they've got quite a decent enough side. I don't think there's much to get rid of apart from a couple of the aging players if we need to get a little bit more money in. Staffing wise, let's have a quick look. Right, that's going to hopefully improve by the end of the rebuild as well. They've got a lot of empty spaces there which should be filled in. So previously in the last few seasons, and they have finished in 4th position, hence why their prediction is 4th this season, which isn't too bad. It's still I'm not sure if it's a Champions League or Europa League spot, but they have done relatively well in the 70 points, which is quite nice. Not really been out of the top 10 at all. So finding themselves down near the bottom this season is unfamiliar territory, I feel. So let's first of all, let's sort out the staffing, get everybody's duties in line, have a look at the window, see what we've got to play with, offload a few players if we can, and then we'll make a few signings as well. Right, we've managed to add a couple of players to the squad, and the first up is Mukhtar Dakiabi. Centre-back, powerful centre-back, and 6'4", jumping reach, heading, looks absolutely fantastic. He's got a bit of pace on him as well. He's just very good at the back. And we have, like mentioned before, we have got aging players. We need to start replacing them. And we always start off roughly at the back. We don't concede goals and we try and score at the other end. But the main plan is to not concede as many goals if we can. But it looks really, really nicely rounded. And £14 million from Valencia, no less, as well, who only make a little bit of a profit. Not too much, but Mukhtar's already scored a goal in 5 games for us already. So I'm really, really pleased. And he's going to be playing alongside Nianzou as well, which is even better. Next up is a midfielder. We have got Delaney. He's 30. He'll be 31 next year. A player that we will be moving along very shortly. And I think he'll be a superb replacement. Advanced playmaker or a box-to-box. I think he's playing as a box-to-box for us this season. Again, stats-wise, looks really, really good. And £3 million. I mean, ta-da. How cheap is that? From Norway as well. He's not played any games for us yet because I think he was on international duty. So he hasn't graced his presence with us yet. So hopefully we'll see what he's like in the coming season. But yeah, quite looking forward to that. 7 goals for Glimt last season in 45, 6 for Stabæk in 94, the season before that. So he can score goals, but I think I'm more or less looking at a replacement, a very young replacement for Delaney. Also for next season, we have got Sergio Reguilon, the left back. He's coming in, I think is it Navas, or one of them is 36 years old. I didn't realise that. So we're going to have to look for replacements for our wing backs, and Reguilon for next season, he's going to be that man. So that does bring the summer spending to £43 million, with some already been spent beforehand. And Machao, Nianzou coming in. So we have got 2 fresh centre-backs now through Dekabi and Nianzou. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they perform. £55 million out the door. So we got rid of some aging players like Gomez, Gudaj and Fernando. I think they're all 34 years old. So we managed to offload them. Not for much money, but some money all the same. We are going to adapt a 4-2-4 formation. We have got players that can play in these positions. And I think we've got some really good top forwards as well, which we are going to have to look after. So Nesri and Mayer, 9 goals between them already this season. But Nesri's already taken a injury with 3 weeks out. So that's not helping us at all. We've had an unbeaten explosion to the season. I mean, I don't think I've had one like that for quite a while, especially against the second team, a 7-1 mauling in fact. We start off against Cadiz. We win that 2-0. Almeria 3-1, 4-2 against Villarreal. Mallorca 4-0 and Real Hispalis 2-1 as well. That does see us top of the table, 5 for 5 with Real Madrid and Barcelona behind us. We have drawn Shakhtar, Milan and Celtic. It would be nice to see us progress out of this group, but if we drop down to Europa, I don't think it's so bad. And we are 20-1 to win the league, lying in 4th position behind Real, Atletico and Barcelona. So without any further ado, let's simulate our first season and let's see how we get on. Right, we've finished close to the prediction. We do end up in the Europa League, which probably suits us more down to the ground. But a 5th place finish overall, 3 points behind Valencia, who finish above us. Real Madrid taking the title on goal difference, by the looks of things, from Barcelona. Rafa Mir finishes a 3rd highest goal scorer in the league with 23, 6 behind Lewandowski of Barcelona. And if we have a look at some of the results then going through from the start of the season. So we started off quite well, then we get into a little bit of a rut straight away. Losing to Barcelona 3-0, a 0-0 of Vallecano and Getafe a 1-1 before we get a win. A couple of more losses there, Espanyol and Valladolid as well. Some nice wins in there. 5-0 win over Girona, which is cool. Real Madrid and Atletico, we lose back-to-back games there. 4-2 loss to Villarreal. Not many wins. The 4-2 formation may not be the way to go. We'll see. But I'm willing to give it a go, though, because I like to see us score goals if we can. But it just seems to be that we're not scoring enough goals, or we're just not scoring more than the opposition. The Spanish Cup, we get as far as the semi-final after beating Ferrol 6-1. Daisano 2-1. Cartagena 3-1. Zaragoza 1-0. Barcelona we beat 1-0 in the quarterfinals. Huge result that, with Januzaj in the 80th minute. And then Real Madrid tore us a new one, 5-0 in the first leg away from home, and then a 1-1 draw. By then it was 6-0 at that point before Delaney scored our consolation goal. Disappointing, but we did get to a semi-final. Champions League, we do qualify to the next round, finishing in second position, 4 points off the eventual winners Milan. We did beat Shakhtar twice, 4-0 and 2-1, and Celtic. We drew with Milan, but we lost to Celtic 4-1. Our heaviest defeat, really, and 3-0 against Milan as well. That's disappointing to lose against Celtic, but it looks like it didn't matter anyway, as we beat them to second spot. In the round of 16, we lose our first leg against Chelsea, but come back with a nice 2-0 away win. In fact, with Corona and Nesri both scoring just after half-time. And then in the quarterfinals, we play another English team, and we get smashed 8-3 on aggregate, losing 3-2 away from home and getting absolutely smashed at home 5-1, despite taking a lead in there and equaling the tie on the night. Looking at our team, the goals came from May and Nesri, our two forwards, as you probably would expect. Not an awful lot, though. How did our wingers do? So you got Corona, Sosa, Vetlesen as well. Our 23-year-old midfielder is going to be taking over Delaney. 5 goals and 3 assists, which isn't too bad at all. Januzaj Dolberg played as well, 5 and 2. Januzaj 4 and 9, not an awful lot contribution-wise. Nianzou 3 goals and an assist, and Dekabi as well, 3 goals. So our 2 centre-backs did remarkably well. I'm very, very impressed with that. Delaney 3 and 1, Limela, Rakitic as well. Some of these are big players playing as well. Tellez 2 goals. Isco getting 1 and 1. Assist wise, yeah, not an awful lot. I mean, it is going through the whole team, but not an awful lot of contributors, unfortunately. We've had a big clear out this summer, and we say goodbye to a few players. Ivan Rakitic, he goes. Isco, he goes. Januzaj, he's gone also. Delaney follows suit as well. And Oliver, who didn't want to stay, he's gone too. £40 million was brought in extra, and we say hello to Sergio Reguilon. He comes in as left back. That deal's already done last season. £27.5 million from, I think it was Tottenham in the end. He's had a few games for us already, and he's doing it pretty well. And at 26 years old, I think it stands in good stead that we'll have somebody coming through in the wing-back role. We also say hello to Patrick Berg, a 25-year-old midfielder. He's not going to be playing in a DM role. He will be in the midfield. Them stats and mentors look really, really nice. I still feel like he's got some potential in him as well. Very, very cheap. £5 million towards the end of last season from Glimp as well in Norway. 3 games for us already. 7.13 looks superb. I'm just kind of... I think he's more into a role of the... of Delaney, I feel. So we get rid of Delaney, we bring a younger version in, I feel. We also say hello to Matheus Cunha from Real Madrid. I think he's more or less coming in as anywhere along the attacking front, really, to be fair. We want to score goals, and also we just want to stop the ball coming through the midfield as well. But if he can play out on the wing, that's excellent. We've got a lot of people that can play on that left-hand side now. So I think... attacking wise, I think we're about done. We just need to shore up our defence now. And he comes in for £7.5 million from Atletico. They lose a lot of money on him as well. 3 games for us already, 6.67, 1 assist. Speaking of defence, we bring another centre-back in, Marash Kumbula. Really what attracted me to him really was the jumping reach. He's got pretty good physicals. He can head the ball as well. And he's a passing ability, which is pretty nice as well. He comes in for £11 million from Roma. Roma take a big loss on him. He's played a game for us already, 6.4. He had a goal, an assist, and player of the match last season in 32 in Italy. Hopefully he'll do the same this season in Spain. Finally, probably our main signing, Brais Mendes. He comes out onto the right wing. His physicals look pretty okay, but his technicals and mentals look really, really nice. £30 million from Real San Sebastian, again, one of our rivals. 3 games, 1 goal, and an assist, 7.5. He's equalled last season at Real San Sebastian in 31 games. He's done it in 3 here, so I'm pretty impressed so far. So overall, we spent a fair bit of money. So like I say, about £40 million brought in, 20 this season, 20 towards the end of last season, with them 3 signings there. And then we have Regulon Berg. There's £32 million there, £48 million here. It's a lot of money being brought in. Formation-wise, we are going with this. Mendes and Berg take their places. Everywhere else is kind of blank because we've got quite good players playing in each position as well. Pre-season's gone okay. We've just had the 1 loss in the league. That was against Barcelona after wins against Leganés and Valladolid. They have been pretty close, getting used to the formation, but I think it'll do us good anyway going into this season. We are lying 5th in the table so far, 4 points behind Real Madrid, who have played 4 games. And scoring for fun by looks of things, 10 goal difference with Valencia 4-0, Mallorca 3-0, 3-0 against Tenerife as well. And they drew against Bilbao. We've drawn PAOK, Fiorentina and Club Brugge in the Europa League. So hopefully we'll get out of that group. I think we have dropped in the odds to win the league. We're at now 25-1. But give our players a bit of time this season. Maybe next season shore up our defence as well. And I think we'll be looking good going into the 3rd season. But season 2 is just about to be simulated. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll come back and we'll have a look at what we've done. Well, that's a better season for us, isn't it? We finished in 2nd spot, 4 points off the leaders and eventual winners, Real Madrid. We do beat Barcelona to 2nd spot as well. We finished 5 points ahead of them as well. So it's a relatively successful season. It really is. Very impressed. And we've managed to score 97 goals this season. Nesri finishes 2nd Golden Boot winner behind Benzema, who finishes top by 1 goal. So we'll have a look at some of the results. And so after losing to Barcelona, we go on a little bit of an unbeaten run. Quite a lot of goals being scored, a lot being conceded also. Then we lose to Almeria, in fact, away from home in November for our 2nd loss of the season. And that's just before beating Atletico Madrid 3-1. Real Madrid beat 1-0 as well, so that's quite good. We lose to Tenerife and we beat Vigo 6-0. Very impressive. Again, a lot of high-scoring games in here as well. Almeria, we smashed them 5-1, getting our own back on them. And then we falter right at the very end. 2 losses, including that loss to Real Madrid. Which maybe if we won and maybe got a point from the Real San Sebastian game, we may have won the league. But that's very, very unfortunate. Just looking on past positions, I just wanted to have a quick look. We were top of the table for a while, heading into the final 2 games. The Spanish Cup, we get as far as the quarterfinals after beating Burgos, Linares, Gijón and Las Palmas. Very close games, but we lose to Atletico Madrid 3-1 in the quarterfinals. So we're getting closer to the final, folks. The Europa League, we do finish top of the table, 5 wins from the 6. We do lose the 1 against Fiorentina 3-0, but we do beat Club Brugge 5-2, 3-0. Fiorentina, we win 6-3 and then lose 3-0 away from home. But PAOK, we smash 5-1 and 3-0. So that's quite a good start into the Europa League. Don't get very far. We're getting to the round of 16 and we just, concede a lot of goals. 5-3 away leg. We lose that one and then a 3-3 draw at home with Dortmund, with Adeyemi, Roos and Reina all scoring. So, pretty harsh to go out. 8-6 in total. So it's quite a high scoring game. Another disappointment in Europe where we would expect to go far in that competition, of which Man U go ahead and beat Atletico Madrid 3-0 in the final. So let's look at our squad then. How did we fare? I mean, did everybody get a game? Everybody had a game or some sort of involvement in the season, so that's pretty good as well. A lot of very unhappy players here by looks of things, obviously, because they're not getting much game time. Goals, 39 from Nesri, 28 from Ocampos as well, the 29-year-old, 17 from Cunha, Mendes pitching in with 13, Oscar with 8. Mir with 7. Didn't really get much game time, which I'm quite surprised at, to be fair. The 26-year-old. Assist, Oscar, who signed a new deal. Mendes, 14. 12 for Kuna. Campos, 11. And again, right through the majority of the team as well. So that's that's pretty good season. Record transfer spending this window. It has been very, very high. You'll be surprised to know that it is over £100 million. And you probably want to ask where that's come from. But we'll get to that in just a few moments. But first of all, Salvatore Esposito. He comes to the club. One of our big signings. Mazzola, Carello, ball winning. I mean, he can play any position whatsoever. Lovely stats. We get him from Wolfsburg. £35 million. 3 games for us already. 7.07. Same rating as last season, really, with Wolfsburg. He did score 2 goals, 7 assists. Hopefully he'll do well for us as well. But the stats speak for themselves. Determination, fitness. I'm liking it. We wanted to strengthen him at the back, and at the back we have done. We've got Divine Wrench. I think that's how you pronounce it. You can play anywhere along the back, more or less for the right-hand side, to be fair. Very nice physicals, great determination once again. Physicals look quite nice. Mentals, technicals, not too bad as well. £25 million. 3 games for us already. We bring him from Ajax. Not a bad steal, I don't think. And at 21 years old as well. Sticking with the back, we bring in Josep Sotalo. Croatian, 6'3". Jumping reach is 16. Heading is 15. He's got great composure. He's got great concentration as well. He can tackle and he can pass the ball and he can run. I mean, literally quite a very good all-rounder as well. And at 24 years old also. 3 games for us already. 7.27, looks absolutely formidable. And finally at the back is a goalkeeper. There was none available until a week before the window ended, and we bring in Andre Onana from Inter Milan. A lot of money was spent again on this individual. There wasn't many out there. We had to wait and wait and wait, and then Onana popped up. 28 years old, I know. However, he was probably the better of the players, and he's probably in his prime as well. 6'4", great aerial reach, jumping's fantastic. He's just a marvellous goalkeeper, isn't he, really? £28 million, rising up to 33. Like I say, from Inter, got him on a free actually, so it's all profit for them. Conceded 2 and 3 for us already. Got 1 clean sheet. He's he's going to get at least this season to get used to the division and what have you, and get used to his own new teammates as well. But I think he'll cope pretty well, and having a big presence at the back is going to help us no end, I feel. So overall, £128 million spent, and you're probably wondering where that's come from, like I say. We lost Nesri. He'd gone to Tottenham for £69 million. That was a big sale. We didn't want to let him go. We had to, met his release clause. Very disappointed he's gone. But we do say goodbye to some other players as well. Suso goes for 6.75. Rekek's gone 6.5. Augustinsson, 3.5. Corona, 3.1. Acuna, 3. 2.4 for Carmona as well. Some of these players wanted to go. Some of these are aging players as well that we have let go also. So Onana steps straight in. Wrench and Sotalo at the back come straight in. Esposito and Mendes is just superb on that right hand side, and that's where we're going to be keeping him. So like I say, at the top we could have Kuna, we could have Mir or Ocampos. It doesn't matter who goes up there at all. There wasn't much in the way of friendlies. They kept being cancelled. We only had the one against Volendam. We won that 4-2. We do start against Espanyol with a 1-1 draw. Disappointing, it has to be said. Valladolid we win 2-0 and the 3-1 victory over Vallecano. The Champions League takes up the new format. We've got Benfica, Juventus, Dortmund, Ferencváros, Roma, Man U, Copenhagen and Slavia Prague. We are lying in 4th position, currently 2 points behind the leaders, Barcelona, Atletico and Bilbao. We are in the Spanish Super Cup, which makes a change, so that's nice to see. So another opportunity to get some silverware. And we are now 20-1 to win the league, behind Real, Barcelona and Atletico. third attempt at the title. That doesn't go to plan, but we are in the Champions League spot. We do finish 4th and we gain 80 points, which is a massive 16 points ahead of our nearest rivals, Villarreal, in 5th position. Just a testament as to how good this team really is now, trying to compete with Atletico, Barcelona and Real Madrid, who go on to win the league by 5 points from Barcelona. We do score, however, 87 goals, only conceding 38 this time, which is a lot less than previous 2 seasons. Matheus Cunha, he is our leading goal scorer for the league this season. He does finish 2nd behind Lewandowski, 12 goals behind him actually, but he does finish 2nd in the Golden Boot stakes. So the league, how did we do? So we went on a little bit of a run to the end of September. Then we lose our first game against Elbar 3-1. And then we beat Atletico 4-0 in fact at home. Real San Sebastian, Real Hispales. And then we don't get anything from November, losing a 4-2 game against Real Madrid. Then we go on some more unbeaten runs, losing to Vigo, but drawing with Barcelona. Then we beat Bilbao. Another couple of big scores here. Espanyol, Getafe. We lose to Villarreal 4-1 though. Atletico Madrid, we smashed 5-1 away from home, which is really good to see. And in fact, we have had some very, very good high scores. Elche, we beat 5-1 and 0-0 with Mallorca. There. Barcelona, we do lose 2-0 away from home. We do beat Bilbao towards the end of the season. In fact, we go on to have 3 games unbeaten. Vigo, Valencia and Bilbao all winning them games. So relatively quite a successful season. Just a couple of blips against teams where you would expect us to be. Spanish Cup, we get as far as the semi-final. We beat Cadiz 2-1. Granada, Real Hispales, but only lose out to Real Madrid. Losing the first leg 2-1 after being 2-0 down after 12 minutes. And then we do get back onto level terms, however, before losing to a goal in the 53rd minute from Rodrigo to make it 3-2 on aggregate. So very unfortunate, but getting closer to one of these domestics. The Super Cup, we do lose to Atletico Madrid 4-2 in the semi-final. And it was Real Madrid that won that 2-1. The Champions League, we finished in 18th position in the top 24. Win half our games though. Copenhagen, Man U, we beat 2-1. We smashed Ferencváros 8-0 and Benfica 2-1. We draw with Slavia Prague, but lose to Roma, Dortmund and Juventus. We get smashed 8-0. Wow. We do, however, get knocked out in the following round against Liverpool. We take another hiding 8-0 on aggregate after a 2-0 home defeat, but 6-0 away from home. These scores are really, really bad. So squad-wise, seems to be diminishing. Goals, wow, 3 players on 20 goals plus. Superb. So Kuno top goal scores with 29, 27 from Mer, 21 from Campos, who is now 30 years old. He's still got another year on his contract, but he gets 10 assists. I'm wondering whether to hang on to him a little bit longer. Oscar, 26 years old, 13 goals, 17 assists. 10 for Mendes with 21 assists. That is absolutely amazing. 21 assists then for Mendes, Oscar 17, 10 for I mean, it's right through the whole team, which is absolutely superb. Esposito, 4 and 8 in his 50 games, not bad going for him. Sutalo as well, 4 goals and an assist, not bad. And Onana, 53 games and 16 clean sheets. That's not bad. So heading into the 4th season then, another £20 million has been put into the pot. Right then, just a couple of signings then. Kamil Potowski, Polish 25-year-old centre-back. Yeah, so we're consolidating our defence again, so it seems. There wasn't really much out there, to be perfectly honest, to improve the team somewhat. I think we've got a really, really good bunch of lads, and the money to get world-class players in just is not there. Unless we're going to get rid of some of our star players, our young star players, it's not going to happen. So we do pick up Camel though, so I think he's going to be very, very good, especially at the back, to play alongside our other centre-backs as well. So it's going to be a rotated And he can play at right back as well, which is kind of nice to see. A DM role also, so we may go to that maybe one season, but we're going to stick with the 4-2-3-1 formation. £15 million, rising up to 16.5 actually. 3 games already, 7.17. Good few seasons, last couple of seasons in Austria with Salzburg. I think he's going to do really well for us here. And next up is Nicolas Castro. A cam really. Not sure whether we really needed one or not, but I thought with some players getting to the late 20s now, they could be possibly moved on. But with him at 24 years old, Argentinian as well, very, very nicely rounded stats-wise. First touch is fantastic. Great long shot on him as well. Great long shot on him as well. Passing, technique, everything you need for that position. It has cost us a fair bit. They're 24 million, rising up to 26 million. He's already got an assist for us already, so that's superb. Very, very good last couple of seasons in Belgium with Genk. 8 goals in the previous couple of seasons, assist-wise. I mean, he's consistent, and that's what we need there. So earlier, just the 2 signings, £39 million spent. We do say goodbye to Bruno as well, the goalkeeper. Martial's gone for 4.1. Jordan's gone for 2.4 as well. Pre-season was okay. There wasn't anything booked in. I had to book him in myself, so I'm not sure whether I've lost my assistant or not. I just don't know. So I'm going to have a look into that. But a 2-2 draw with Toronto. We smashed Boca United 15-1 as well as a 15-0 over Racing Portuense as well. Granada we beat and Lugo also. We start the league against Espanyol with a nice 3-0 win. We lose to Villarreal at home, which was a surprising result. And then we beat Tenerife 5-1 to get back on track. The Champions League sees us pit our wits against Celtic, Bayern Munich, Dortmund again, Partizan, Roma, PSG, PSV and Vienna, Austria. We are lying currently in 6th position because of that one loss. There's no Super Cup for us this season. And if we go to the preview as well, we are predicted to finish in 18-1 to win the league. So that's an improvement on the odds, which is nice. Have we got any players here at all? Nope, not at all. So we will eventually, with one more season to go, we will have to try and get somebody in there. So let's simulate season 4 then. Let's come back. Hopefully we'll have some silverware this time. I'm not sure what the odds are for the silverware. But the league, as you can see, we're still lying in 4th position. We lost to 5th placed Villarreal. So we have to break that monopoly at the top somehow. So season 4 finishes position 3rd. It's not bad actually. That's not a bad result. We finish ahead of Barcelona, so we pegged Barcelona down into 4th position, but we do lose out to the top spots to Villarreal and Real Madrid, who just seem to be unstoppable at the moment. 17 goals conceded for Real Madrid. It's unbelievable. We've conceded 33. That's again, that's less than last season, so we are getting better defensively, which is superb. And we scored 84 goals. Rafa Mir, our striker, is the Golden Boot winner for the division. So that is just superb. Real Madrid, I've just had a look. They've won it for the past 5 seasons now. Yeah, they're just unstoppable, aren't they, really? So in the league, we had a very long unbeaten run stemming from that loss from Villarreal in the 2nd game. And it just stems all the way right up to the end of December, which is superb. Finishing on 3 clean sheets though. Draws to Bilbao and Hispalis 0-0s. We do beat Girona 4-1. There's a 4-0 against Elche. Valencia we beat. Getafe as well. A lot of clean sheets early on in the season. We do lose 6-3 to Real Madrid at home though. I mean, that's a big result though. 9 goals in that game. Some teams that we've lost to, really, we should really be beating, I feel. Barcelona, we beat 1-0 away from home as well. Who got that goal? It was Oscar on the hour. A couple more results going our way as well. But again, Getafe 4-2 there. Disappointing. A 6-0 win over Ibiza though. That's pretty good. Real Madrid 4-1. So we did concede 10 goals in the 2 games against Real Madrid, which is disappointing. But we do beat Bilbao and Girona towards the end of the season. The Spanish Cup, we get as far as the quarterfinals, losing to Granada 2-1. That's after beating Las Palmas 3-0, 5-0 against Murcia, 2-1 against Andorra. Elche 6-4. What a game that is. And then Granada, which you would have thought would be an easier route to the final, but that's disappointing to lose that game. The Champions League, we finished in 13th position, so it's not too bad. 4 wins from the 8 against Austria Vienna, Roma, Partizan, a 7-0 win over Partizan, and a win against Celtic. We draw against PSV and Dortmund, but lose to PSG and Bayern, which we probably would have expected to. Our goal difference was a lot better, 22 goals scored, and we only finished 3 points off the top 8 positions. We do, however, lose out to Chelsea in the following round, 4-1 on aggregate, 3-1 at home as well after taking a 1-0 defeat from Chelsea. Disappointing that we're just not getting a really good showing in Europe, but we are getting our name in and around, though, it has to be said. Squad, let's have a quick look. Our ever-diminishing squad, that is. Merckx, 39 goals. Well done him, 28-year-old striker, 4 assists. Kuno weighs in with 18 and 9. A Campos, who's now 31. Still got a couple of years left on his contract. 18 and 13. He's still contributing a fair bit as well. Oscar as well, 12 and 17. 10 for Castro, the new chap. 10 and 7. That's pretty good as well. Vetlesen and Nianzu getting 6 goals. Wow, well done to him as well. Camille, how did he do? 2 goals for him. Dakabi as well, 2 goals for him. Also Esposito, 2 and 8. I mean, our players are getting a lot of game times, which is pretty good to see. Anybody not playing? Our other goalkeeper and a couple of other youngsters, Kumbula as well. He didn't get any game time at all. It's a possibility we may have to move him along, and Dakabi as well, possibly. Right, in reversing order, our last few transfers for this rebuild then. Ezequiel Zeballos, Argentinian left winger. He's very quick. And Campos, I think he's going to... Well, he's aging a little bit. Still fantastic, but we needed another backup. And at 24 years old, I think he fits the bill superbly. £12 million, rising up to £12 million. No movement there then. Very, very cheap. 2 assists already to his name in the 3 games he's played, and he's playing at a 7.23 so far. Next up is a left back, Victoria Christensen. We have got, again, aging players. We've only got 1 left back, Regulon. Wrench can play at left back, but he's more of a right back suited player. But we decided to bring another one in just to have some depth in the team. And 23 years old, again, very quick. Physicals look absolutely amazing, and he's got great crossing skills also. We bring him in for 13, rising up to 15. Not a lot of money. Again, very, very cheap. You can find these cheap players, but whether or not they'll stand up to the likes of the players in Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico, and all the other top European teams remains to be seen. And finally, our main player, which I've been trying to get hold of for the past couple of seasons, is Lazar Samardich, attacking midfielder. What can I say? We have got Kuna, who was playing in up front, but Mer's, I think, taken over that role now with the amount of goals he's been scoring. Kuna, we needed another backup. And again, he looks absolutely amazing. Technicals, physicals, and mentals look really, really nice. The only trait that he's got, which I'm a little bit worried about, it tries to play out of trouble, which is pretty good because passing, he's got a fantastic technique. He's even better. He's got a great long shot as well. So hopefully he's going to have a few shots and have a few goals as well, and dribbling. So there's no reason why he can't do that. We do spend the majority of our budget, £20 million, 2 assists to his name in 3 games, 7.7, playing the best football of his career so far. So £45 million spent, but however, we do lose Kuna. So we brought in Samadic because of that, really. £48.5 million. And you're probably asking, where's that other £20 million that's gone that you had right at the beginning? Well, with the Kuna deal, there was a lot of money that had to be paid out. And I think we only got half the money. So £20 million was paid out in loads of other clauses. And yeah, I was a bit bitterly disappointed. So I was expecting around about 60-70 million to spend. Yeah, we didn't have that at all. Pre-season's gone fantastic, that's why. A 4-2 win, a 5-2 win. We did lose to Dortmund, though. That's before we had our attacking midfielder and other signings as well. And then we start the Liga campaign, and Villarreal, we smash 6-2 with Mer netting 4 goals Cadiz, we only win 2-1. And Levante, we smashed 5-1 with Mer again netting 4 goals. He's going to be scoring. I mean, he scored 8 goals already this season in the league. It's amazing. Salzburg, Bayern Munich, Napoli. We've got Prague, Leipzig, Benfica, Porto, and Tel Aviv in the Champions League. We're sitting top of the table, 3 for 3 with Real Madrid. I think we play next, so that's going to be an interesting game. And the preview for this season, we're back down to 20-1 to win the league. We just cannot seem to break into that top 3. However, we'll see what our football shows this season. So for the final time, let's simulate season 5 and see how we get on. Season 5 comes to a close, so does this rebuild, and we do not gain the La Liga. Real Madrid and Barcelona bossing it once more. Real Madrid just absolutely unstoppable right through here. I mean, I think there were 6-7 league wins on the bounce. However, we do finish off with another 26 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses. That's the 3rd time this has happened in the 5 seasons. The second season where we finished 2nd, last season where we finished 3rd, and this season where we finished 3rd. 84 points once more, 94 goals scored. That's second most in the league, and we only conceded 39. But look at Barcelona, conceded only 13 goals and still finished 7 points off the leaders and the eventual winners, Real Madrid. We beat Barcelona twice, incidentally. Did we beat Real Madrid? Once. So we are catching up with them ever so slowly, but we are losing silly games. Rafa Mir becomes the leading goal scorer again. 51 goals this season. That is absolutely phenomenal. If there's any pluses to come out of this, Mir is a superb striker. After losing Nesri a couple of seasons back, he's really stepped up. So looking at some of the results then, we do have a good September. We lose our first game to Almeria, and we lose to Valencia as well. But we do beat Bilbao 5-1. 5-1 win over Atletico Madrid as well. Mer with a hat-trick, actually. Wow. It's no wonder he got 50-odd goals. Elche, Mer, brace there. Barcelona, we win that 2-0. He didn't score in that game. Sadly enough, we do lose to Real Madrid 3-0. Probably the only other game where we didn't score a goal. Strike that. Real San Sebastian kept us out as well. But 5-2 win over Levante. 4-2 Espanyol. Looking at some of the big stuff. 5-0 against Bilbao. And we finished strongly. Draw right at the end against Getafe. But Barcelona, mere penalty, getting that winner. Actually, it's not been a bad season, actually, to be perfectly honest. Finished 3rd, twice on the bounce now, and we're right behind the main players now. Spanish Cup, we only get as far as the 4th round, unfortunately. We win our first round 7-1, second 1-0, third 2-0, and then we lose to Oviedo 2-1. The Champions League, we finish in 14th position with 4 wins once again against Tel Aviv, Benfica, Sparta Prague, and Salzburg. And look at them scores. 4-2, 5-0 against Benfica, 8-0 against Sparta Prague, 4-0 against Salzburg, 24 goals in total. Napoli we draw, but we do lose to Porto 3-0, Leipzig and Bayern Munich. We do finish 3 points off 8th spot with Chelsea, Liverpool, Milan, Bayern Munich, Rennes, Real Madrid, PSG and Juventus go through. Where did Barcelona finish? Did Barcelona play? Have I missed them? Barcelona may have been in the Europa League, actually. Did they? Oh, no, they didn't. They finished 25th. Outside of the next round. So they go out. They go crash and burning out unless they go into the Europa League. I'm not so sure. We do lose, however, to Benfica again. Despite beating them 5-0 at home. We lose 2-1 and 3-2. That's disappointing. But the fact that we played Benfica again, it's even more disappointing. The final was won by Milan, beating fellow countryman Juventus on penalties. And for the final time as well, let's have a look at... wow! Oh, good grief. Oh, my word. Rafa Mir. Value only 15 million. He scored 72 goals this season. 72 from 52 games. That is absolutely ludicrous. Let's have a look at his form. I mean, he has been putting it away. I mean, it's ridiculous. 4 goals. There's a few games where he didn't score many goals, but 72 goals. That's insane. 15 for Ocampos. Oscar with 12 as well. Zabelos. He got 8 goals and 16 assists, which isn't too bad, I'm guessing. But assist-wise, Zabelos, Ocampos, Oscar, Mendes, and everybody else. In fact, is going through the whole team, which is pretty decent as well. And just out of interest, our goalkeeper and Nana, how many clean sheets did he get? 11. That's disappointing, but he only conceded 39, so it's not too bad. Staffing wise, we've not really looked at this. We have got the best in the league, which is absolutely phenomenal, apart from the medical staff, which they're still working on. So it's not going to be too long, I think, before we can expect to see some league wins eventually. Squad planner, let's have a quick look, looking into the next season, really. We've only got the one goalkeeper, which we would have to look out for more. Our left back situation is okay. Defence is absolutely superb. Maybe 1 or 2 more, possibly. Midfield, I've got no worries or qualms about that at all. We're still looking good. Attacking midfielder role, there's quite a few players that can play there. Same with left and right. And our striker situation, we may need to get another one. But Carrasco, he's coming up. 19-year-old striker, very high potential. Has he played? He did play 2 games for us though, so that's pretty good this season. So that's where we're going to leave it for this rebuild. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button as well if you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments as well who you would like to see rebuilt next or attempted rebuild. I think this is the first time we've had a rebuild where we've not won anything at all. But we have broken into the top 3 now, so I think that's going to be pretty consistent now, I'm hoping. And until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.